Hi friends, I am Sarah. Welcome to Grace My Space. Today we are going to chat about spring decorating, specifically in the living room, and we're going to style these shelves. So I'm going to walk you through how I transition from kind of more winterish decor to spring decor with some shelf styling tips. And we're also going to chat about how to add in pops of spring decor into a room like a living room on a very strict budget. You missed my spring mantle decorating video. I did share a bunch of different ways to decorate my spring mantle with different styles of design, and you can check that out in this video. Today I'm really excited because I am collaborating with a wonderful YouTube channel called Farmhouse Living. Shelby and Michelle are a mother-daughter duo, and they have amazing design, awesome DIY, a great eye for style, and they're going to be sharing some spring decorating as well. So make sure at the end of this video to hop on over to their video, which I will link for you in the description, and see how they have transitioned to spring. A lot of times, styling shelves can feel tricky because you have layers, 3 layers of shelves, and then you also have long widths that you have to work with. So I'm going to share some tips for how to keep something with a lot of shelves, with a lot of length to the shelves, looking cohesive and styled rather than cluttered. This was the look that I had for winter. We're going to take it all out and have a fresh start. And one of the biggest mistakes that people end up making is seeing a shelf and feeling like they have to fill every last square inch of it. And what that does is it doesn't give your eye a spot to rest. So you're just constantly feeling overwhelmed and chaotic. And so it ends up looking really cluttered. So when you are looking at what decor you're going to add to a shelf, make sure and pause and say, where am I going to give breaks in my decor? Where am I going to let the eye rest? This is a collection of 3 pieces that are vibrant. It sets the tone for spring. A bright green always says spring. And so it's going to kind of anchor the whole space so that this is the focal point when you first see the cabinet, and everything else around it is going to complement it. Try to intersperse large items across the cabinet. When you focus too much on only adding small pieces to shelving, it makes it feel underwhelming. But when you add larger scale artwork or larger pieces like these bottles that take up the entire height of the shelving area, then it really fills the space and it's not so overwhelming and cluttered. Doing odd numbered groups is a great way as well to keep your eye moving through the space, because it's just more pleasing to the eye. I'm sure there's probably a science behind it, but odd numbers tend to be more visually appealing. That's cute. Adding neutral year-round pieces to your shelving also helps tone it down, so it's not like an explosion of spring. There's some anchor points that kind of make it feel peaceful and not too overly seasonal. Including textured pieces adds interest as well. And when you have, this one, look, it's got like cute springy colors in it, but when you have just an empty basket, it also helps to have a resting spot for your eye like we talked about before, because there's not something overflowing out of it. It's just a basket and it's got pretty detail on its own. Now, if your shelving is actually open, it gets sunlight, it gets air, and not in a closed cabinet like this one, I would always recommend live plants for styling shelves. But since I have closed doors, no sunlight in this area, I did find a cute little faux plant that I'm gonna pop in here, because adding greenery, obviously spring is when the earth comes to life. And so adding greenery makes it definitely feel like spring. I'm gonna like do the hair on this one. Including lighter wood tones is a great way to lighten up for spring, but keep it warm at the same time. I'm not sure these guys will fit, but we'll try. That didn't fit. Now, so far we have kind of like your standard shelving decor. We have some art, we have some bottles, we have some baskets, we've got some plants. Add in something that's interesting and out of the norm. So if you can find antique pieces, those are usually where a lot of pieces with character come from, or sometimes there are really cool finds at like Home Goods, things like that. But I like my antique horses. They're interesting, they're different, they're leather covered, and they're really, I think, cool. So I'm gonna add them in. maybe only one. I always like to add in a stack of books too. If you can find books with kind of a spring color palette on the binding, then that's even better. If not, you can always wrap them in white paper and make them a neutral accent. Of course, what would spring decor be without tulips or peonies or any other beautiful spring flower? Lilacs are another favorite. These are actually fake, but they are so realistic looking. I will link them for you in the description. Let's pop this knot right up here on top, just for some architectural interest. I think I need to adjust. One of the challenges of a cabinet like this is that it's gridded. It's gridded for me. So once I've closed these, it looks like I have 9 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. My finger went faster than I did. So this kind of shelf styling is a little bit more complicated than if you have completely open shelves, which I will show you, because you have to make sure that whatever you have put into each square is seeable with the cabinet the way that it's built. Now, one of the basic concepts of shelf styling is that you should be designing in a pattern. So with color specifically, I have 3 main colors: green, pink, and tan. And then I have my whites and my taupes as a neutral. You can see I have green cascading diagonally down from the plant to the bottle to the painting. Similarly, I have my white in a triangle. We go from the pot to the knot down to the painting again. And so when you use diagonal and triangle shapes in your shelf styling, when you have multiple layers of shelves, it bounces the eye around the shelf instead of it getting stuck in one spot. I've also done an inverted triangle with the tan color with the basket, down to the wicker portion of the bottle, and then back up to the horse. See all the different triangles that we have here and then a diagonal? That helps move the eye around and make the entire shelving system feel cohesive. Also remember that there's a lot of value in little teeny accents like this. Sometimes they feel like they could easily get lost in a shelf, but when you look down here, you can see that the two look nice together, but when you add a little teeny third accent, it really brings the whole thing together, and then you've got a group of 3. After taking a step back, I noticed that you can't see the bottom of this pot. So using books is a great way to add height and layering and solve some of those problems. Look, I found the perfect thing for this spot. It's not super visually heavy. It sticks within the color palette, and now it doesn't feel like the spot was forgotten. Always tweak your shelves. Sometimes it takes a while to get it right. I hope that some of these shelf styling tips were helpful to you as you think about spring. Now let's head next to the living room. Now, this is a little reality check situation in the living room. This is the everyday life of a family. And what I need to do is just freshen it up for early spring. It's going to be very simple transitions. Anybody can do this, and it starts with taking stuff away. Step 1, take away any remaining Christmas items. Living rooms, living spaces are notorious for just being drop zones for literally everything. This is our main area where our family hangs out. We all congregate here. We all do various tasks here. And so it just gets cluttered. So step 2, clean. Everybody does it like this, right? All the heavy blankets, store them away. If you have some really worn looking pillows, new pillow covers. I might try and actually get rid of this pillow, but it's my husband's favorite laying pillow, even though it looks like junk. So, gotta keep him happy. But with a new cover, at least it looks better. A little hint for you. When you have pillow covers that are removable, you can actually just leave on the covers underneath of a new cover as storage, because then you don't have to take it off and store it somewhere. It's just literally always here, and you can take it off, swap out the one that you want on top, and then it's like 4 seasons of pillows in one pillow. I'll pop some of my favorite pillow inserts into the description because they are really nice down-filled pillows that'll give you a good form and comfort, and they're also pretty affordable. I'm actually gonna pop up this massive sign onto the wall. Isn't it pretty? And it's gonna feel like spring. And I wanted to add some greenery to this paper mache bowl, but I was out of green, so I have this garland. I'm just gonna shove it on in there. Hide the bottom, hide the stems as well as possible. And in the end, it's gonna look like a bowl full of leaves. Green leaves, as opposed to the white, dirty snow nothingness that's outside right now. Then our job is to fluff. Voila, a bowl of greenery. Adding in an oversized plant is always a good idea. It is a focal point, it's a statement maker for a room, and it's super simple. This is just faux fern leaves. You can use real plants, you can use any kind of greenery. I like to use the kind that are kind of like a real touch and they're more realistic. But when you use something that's a little bit oversized, it just says, hello spring, hello new season. Pretty. Let's be honest, we're bringing spring inside because that's what it looks like outside. And now we have a fresh new look for spring. Super simple. Swap your pillows, lighten your blankets, clean, add fresh artwork if you need to. Sometimes you don't. Pop in a plant or some greenery and you're ready for spring. And the best part is all of this will transition to summer with no problem whatsoever. I hope you enjoyed this video and got some new ideas for adding spring decor to your home. Make sure and head next to Farmhouse Living. Check out how they've refreshed their space for spring and subscribe to their channel as well. Thanks for decorating for spring with me. It's always fun to style a shelf and transition a room into a new season. Make sure and hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and stay tuned for more to come here at Grace in My Space.